Hi guys, welcome to another Dead Air video. I'm in the small village of Rock here in Northumberland. There's a strong legend about this village. Every August the 15th, the lady in grey is said to run straight through here in the dead of night to Rock Hall just over there. Tonight is August the 15th. Rock is a tiny village about 5 miles north of Alnwick in Northumberland, but it also has many cool legends. The village churchyard contains many former residents of the village, but one story in particular has caught my eye. An exhumed grave in the last century revealed the skeletons of a husband and wife, cuddling each other after death. But the standout building in this small village is Rock Hall. Rock Hall has been many things, from a youth hostel to recently a boarding school, but it is now residential and private. I would love to have access to the inside of it, but with full respect to the owners, I decided from filming it and using existing images instead. It is said that the ghost of a cavalier walks the upper corridors at night, whispering outside of bedrooms and even moving objects all on their own. It is said that he was to blame for the hall burning down in 1752. But who is he? Many people believe he is Colonel John Selkhead. John had a long feud with his rival John Swinburne for many reasons that we will never know. They were both wealthy landowners. Maybe this was part of their rivalry. The colonel stabbed Swinburne through the heart as they argued outside of the gates of Meldon, with plenty of witnesses seeing what happened. The colonel was up for murder, but he escaped the charges, probably because of his wealthy status. After his death, 32 years later, a legend claims that a thumping sound was heard from the inside of his coffin. But does he still haunt Rock Hall? The main ghost tonight that I am here to see is that of the Grey Lady. She is said to be the ghost of Arabella Lawson, the wife of Henry Lawson, whose wealthy brother owned Rock Hall. According to the legend, Arabella was staying with a relative in the village of South Charlton, 4 miles away to the west. On a warm August night, Arabella woke to a bad feeling. She sensed that something wasn't right, so she got up to walk the 4 miles to the village of Rock. As she arrived and entered the gates of Rock Hall, the door opened and out stepped a priest who had been performing the last rites on Henry. He had had an accident, falling from his horse, snapping his neck and inflicting a fatal head injury. Arabella is said to have screamed as she watched her husband breathe his final breath. On the 15th of August 1969, Jane Frost from Berwick was a young teenager staying at Rock Hall, which was now a youth hostel. She claimed to have been up during the night in the warm conditions, getting a drink and going outside to cool down, when she saw the outline of a figure gliding across the lawn and through a wall on the far side of Rock Hall. The ghost was transparent and did not notice Jane standing there. Was this the ghost of Arabella Lawson? The legend goes back many centuries, and there have been many sightings on August the 15th. So according to the legend, it is said the Grey Lady walks down this very path, usually in the dead of night, and various people have claimed to have seen her. She then enters Rock Hall behind me. Now, I'd love to do a lot of filming inside Rock Hall, even on the grounds of Rock Hall, but today it's private, it's residential, and I'm not going to try and video as much of it as possible, just simply because people want to live there in peace. They don't want ghost hunters rocking up at their house. So So we're going to wait till it gets dark. We're going to come back and we're going to explore at night rock and see if the legend is real. Exactly 50 years to the night, I was hoping it would be my turn. So as the legend goes, that Arabella Lawson walks from South Charlton all the way to Rock, I identified the main route that this ghost would likely to have walked. By studying aerial photography and looking at old maps, I worked out that there was definitely still a path that would have existed in the 1600s. This would be where I would have a little walk in the area of Rock at midnight to see if I could see the ghost of Arabella Lawson. So there's a few things we need to establish before we get started into all of this. What is an anniversary ghost? And second of all, is it real? Or is this just something that's been passed down over generations and years in this tiny little village hamlet, pretty much in the middle of absolute nowhere? Well guys, I'm sat in the car. It's just about to turn midnight tonight, and we've returned back to Rock. I'm parked sort of just outside, so I don't think you can see much out there. Kind of just outside the village. It's very small here, it's very small. Quite a few curtain twitchers. That's the first thing to point out. I don't know if you can see this as well, we've got a bit of a full moon going on. Look at that. Up there, so we're going to have a little wander through to the woods, which is where the path, we think, would be the main way you would go if you were walking from South Charlton to Rock. Oh guys, what a start. I'm walking through the woods here, and we believe this would be the way you would walk if you were going from South Charlton to Rock. As we are scaring local wildlife here. It's very muddy around here. The reason I'm keeping my voice down is just we are still near a residential area, so I don't want to disturb the people of Rock too much. We really are disturbing local wildlife. So to see where I'm going, look. That's the view. This little dirt path is probably would have been the way you would have walked. Now, we're talking about, oh, it's very muddy here, an event that happened over 400 years ago. But first we just need to address what an anniversary ghost is. An anniversary ghost is said to be someone who, it's like a memory that replays itself over and over every year on a particular anniversary of an event. In this case, a woman who is looking for her husband. Now, traditionally they say that you can't communicate with an anniversary ghost. They are essentially just memories repeating themselves. They can't interact with you, you can't interact with them. Some say they're not even ghosts, some say they're sort of more energy that's recorded like a tape recorder. They often say like brickwork and stonework is is very good for capturing these memories. They say a lot of ghosts in castles. That's what they are. They're just memories that are replaying themselves over and over again. Now, obviously, there's several things about this story that I think we need to look at first before we say, is there a ghost here? The first one is, it said that Arabella woke up at some time in the night to a bad feeling. She was staying in South Charlton, 4 miles that way, and because of that bad feeling she decided to head over here. Bad feeling. Now, either she woke up and she just sensed something wasn't right. Did she have a bad dream? Is she psychic? But for you to get up in the middle of the night and run 4 miles and you don't even know what's happened, it's a bit unrealistic, isn't it? I mean, this is a nice August evening. It's a very nice August evening. It's been quite warm all day. It's been sunny. We had rain earlier in the week, but that's why it's a bit muddy. But you have to imagine no lights, no street lights, and she would have had to walk 4 miles through this. Would that really happen? Unless maybe the story's been twisted, versions of events have changed. Maybe she got a message. Maybe someone came this way and said, look, you're going to have to get yourself down to Rockhall. Your husband's close to death. I don't know. So that's the first thing that doesn't seem right. The second thing, she didn't die. It was her husband who passed away. So why is her ghost still said to come out here when she didn't die that night? Again, I don't know that. But what I do know is I'm going to carry on walking for a little bit longer. I'm not going to go all the way the 4 miles because I don't think I'd want to walk 4 miles in the absolute dead of night down here. But I'm just going to venture into these woods a little bit. And I haven't even recce'd this. I haven't even seen this place, this little trek, during the daytime either. But yeah, I'm going to carry on walking. So guys, I've walked about maybe 15 minutes, and you can see this pathway. It's got trees. Obviously this is the original path that Arabella probably walked. Sadly we can't do the full route because along here this pathway ends and the A1, famous A1, chops this route in half. So Arabella wouldn't have been able to do this route in 2019. Look at that. Can you see the moon? Yeah, we've got a full moon coming through there. So we're just walking a little bit further in. And as well, we don't have any times of when she was said to have appeared. All we know is it was in the middle of the night. Middle of the night could be midnight. Middle of the night could be 4 o'clock in the morning. But we're going to stay out here tonight. I've got the batteries on charge. And we're going to see what we can get. Look at this big old tree. Let's continue walking a bit further. So we're not really in rock at the minute. We're kind of... we've walked away from rock. Let's carry on going. One thing I've noticed out here is that the wind has picked up a little bit. Can you hear that? It's picked up in the trees. Now I've walked quite a long way and I'm now making my way back into rock. And I'm going to have a little wander around Rock Hall now. I stressed at the start of this video that it is residential. They don't do ghost hunts, they don't do paranormal things, the people who live there now. It was once a boarding school, it's been a hostel, it's now private residence, so you can't just walk into the grounds. And I made that clear when we were out videoing this place during the daytime, not to try and video people's property because we haven't got permission, and I didn't even try to get it because I didn't want to draw attention that we were filming in rock tonight. It's a very small community. The people here I'm sure are absolutely lovely, but some people might not like the idea of people just rocking up in their little, excuse the pun, rocking up in their tiny little village after dark with video cameras. So yeah. That's an animal. I thought it was a puppy. You know when puppies cry? That's got to be an animal. I hope it was an animal. There's one thing though about tonight that I really want to do. I do hope you're hearing that. One thing tonight, I know rock has its legendary ghost, and it'd be a shame if we could sort of say, look, we've been here tonight and nothing happened. It's maybe not real, because I know they've had this tradition for hundreds of years that this ghost exists, and yeah, it would be a shame if we could sort of end it for them, but at the same time, you know, there were the ghosts here in rock. We heard that story of the skeletons that were found cuddling in their grave. What a lovely story that is. A few tragic stories around here as well. And I've also got to thank Georgia, our historian who researches a lot of these stories just for dead air. She has family from rock, and she drew this place to my attention, and we researched it in books. There's not much online on this place, but yeah, so thanks Georgia for doing that. I'm just going to try and focus on the ground. Where are we? Here we go. There it is again. I know you can hear the trees rustle with the wind, but it's got to be an animal. It has to be an animal. Can't imagine what else would make that noise. It's certainly not a human. Now we talked about anniversary ghosts. You can't communicate with them, so it's pretty much pointless bringing a Ouija board or something out here to try and contact them, because people say that you can't contact an anniversary ghost, and people say if you see them and you walk towards them, they just vanish. I don't know. must admit, it's you'd think though if people knew there was a ghost every year on a certain date, they'd be easier to find, wouldn't it? Easier to see. It gets really muddy in this part, so I'm now heading back into rock. It's now quite late, I do not know what the time is, but we are in probably, I would say, the dead of night, on the anniversary of rock's famous grey lady that's to run through here every August the 15th. Well, technically it's after midnight now, so it's probably August the 16th, but yeah, the night of August the 15th is technically tonight, up until midnight. See the moon coming through. I go through some deep mud. Better change my shoes before I get back to the car. Very deep mud. Right, let's get in front of rock hall. Okay guys, we are back in the small village of Rock. Are we next to the well? Yes, okay. So this wall is the wall outside Rock, which wasn't around when video. That's rock. That is rock hall. Over there. It's quite hard to see in the darkness, but now coming into streetlight in Rock. Okay guys, we are now back at the church. There's the graveyard there, and over to your right, that fence, let me just show you, not getting too close, is Rock Hall. That's the gardens of Rock Hall. What a cool village it is, can I just say. I'd love to live here, it's fantastic, but as for the legend of a woman who runs through here every August the 15th, it's well documented in books, even on the paranormal database. It's a brilliant story. There's some brilliant stories here in the graveyard, but we're now, what are we on? It's coming up to 1 in the morning, and we've still not seen anything, but keeping an eye open. Just heading around the back of here now. I literally don't know where we're heading with this, but exploring every part of this brilliant haunted little village of the rock. I do not know where on earth I am. I don't remember seeing this bit in the daytime. Full moon up there. You can see the water just in there. Where is she? Where is that grey lady that's meant to haunt this village? Or should I say the area close to this village? Here's the pond. Oh, I know where we are now. I know where we are now. There's a little seat where I was before. Now you can see the lake, or should I say pond. Careful not to trip on anything. You don't want to fall down there. So what do I think of Rock? I think it's a cool little place. I genuinely like it here. Be careful, don't fall down here. So overall, my gut instinct is it's all a legend. I had no doubt before I even came to this place that these kind of things are legends. They get passed around, they get handed down through generations and generations, and I genuinely feel that's what we are looking at with this place. I'm still trying to keep my voice down because people genuinely don't know I'm here filming. In fact, I'm going to walk on the grass just to keep my voice down. It's the kind of place where everybody talks, everybody knows everybody. And for that reason alone, I'm keeping a low profile in Rock tonight. So heading back to the car. It's been a great night, I've enjoyed it. And it's a great story. I don't really want to sort of rubbish it in any way. I'd love to think that these little legends, these stories of hauntings and things like that can carry on because they're good and they can get passed down to more generations, whether they're true or not, or just something to tell the kids. Rock is definitely a special place. Guys, if you liked our video, here in Brock. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like more of our content on Dead Air.